The real estate market is in full swing. Hey, Lily with Living Room Realty in Portland, Oregon, here to give you a real estate market update for the month of March 2024. Activity is officially increased across the board. Exciting, exciting news. I feel like we've been kind of inching towards this for a while, even with interest rates staying fairly stable. Unfortunately, I did just hear from some local mortgage reps that they do predict interest rates will stick around the same place for, at least till the end of the summer. But we are still pushing for that prediction that there should be 2 to 3 more decreases in interest rates as the year continues. But just know for the spring, we're probably going to see things in that high 6-7% range, unfortunately, for everybody. But on from that, even with those higher rates sticking around, we are seeing that high activity, as I said. New listings to the market saw an increase of 7%. It went up into 2,085 homes hitting the market last month. Pending sales went up by 16% with 1,742 homes going under contract. And then sold homes saw an increase of 14% with 1,284 homes hitting the market. Or sorry, going to new homeowners. And so with all of that, I think, it's really interesting to see that increase in new homes to the market. I think that is what everybody is waiting for. It'll be great if we see lower interest rates. It'll be great if we see these other things happening within our market. But in the end, if inventory stays low, that is going to make it really tough for home buyers out there, and also tough for potential sellers who want to sell and move on to a new property, which is like kind of creating this issue in the first place to some degree, and also the interest rates, all of that stuff. But yeah, so interesting to see that we are finally starting to have more options come to market. I've definitely seen that in my business with my clients, and especially in certain price points. I have noticed an abundance of new homes coming to the market. My clients in the 650 to 800 range, I've noticed a lot of properties coming up, and then kind of above that in the 1 million to 1.2 mil range, I just saw a bunch of stuff come up for a client who's been really, really patient. And we saw a lot of good opportunities out there. Nothing was a fit for them, but at least we were like, all right, we're starting to see stuff come to market for you, which is really great. And then even at that lower price point around 400, just got someone under contract a few weeks ago. They're getting keys next week. And for another client in that range, I'm also noticing some really good stuff out there. So, that's obviously going to be a very competitive price point, but things are doable within that range still. I always want to make that point. So yeah, on to what is happening. I think right now we are definitely looking at a market where if you are someone who is thinking about selling your home, things are looking a lot better for you. There are buyers out there. There are a lot of buyers out there, and they're highly motivated. They might still be pretty set on their monthly payment amount just because interest rates are still where they are. So know that you're really going to want to still prep your house really well, and we're going to want to be very strategic when it comes to your price. But if you do all that prep right, which I am here to help you with, you should get a great offer on your home and have the potential to get multiple offers. In my office, we had a bunch of houses last week go under contract that got multiple offers. There was one house that got, I believe, 24 offers on it. Now that was like the really cool house in the cool neighborhood, but just shows, there's a lot happening right now, and people are out there wanting to buy your home. So good news for you. For buyers, good and bad news. Other buyers are out there more actively now, so that means you are going to have higher competition. No worries on that. I have worked through the hottest of markets, 2021, all of that, where, we were giving an arm and a leg. I know how to come up with creative strategies, even if you aren't someone who has the highest price point or, cash on hand. There are very fun negotiation tactics we can use. I'll use high communication with the seller side, find what really their pain points are, and we can speak to that, winning you the home that you want. And then, yeah, as I said, though, with that, there is positives and negatives. While there are more buyers out there, that is going to motivate more sellers to come to the market, as we are already seeing. I have the numbers right here on my ring light. Which we are already seeing, which means more options for you. That'll disperse buyers a little bit, but also just give you more, options to choose from, make you feel like you're not settling for properties. You'll be able to see a good deal of homes before making a decision, or you might find something right away because there's just more options out there for you. So good news all around. I think for buyers, right now, if you are someone who doesn't want to deal with a ton of competition, buying sooner than later will be good for you. I think this spring will be a very, very hot market since a lot of people were kind of on pause last year who maybe are now motivated to buy. I've definitely had a lot of those conversations with buyers currently, and with newer buyers as well. So buying in the earlier season is good, but of course we can make it work based on your schedule. Summer, things tend to definitely slow down, so always keep that in mind as well. There are not going to be as many options, but again, we'll figure it out based on your timeline. And then lastly here, one thing to note is average sales price has actually stayed pretty stable. 609 is where we're at right now. So we are still above 600. At one point it did dip below, I think, a little bit, but we are kind of slowly on the up and up, which is good news for you home sellers, something to pay attention to if you are a home buyer. All right, lastly, I do want to talk just for a second here about what you've probably seen in the news, which is the NRA, National Association of Realtors settlement. So nothing is in writing yet. Nothing will go into place till July. But here are the actual changes and what is going on, because I know there's a lot of misinformation in the news right now and just a lot of confusion and frankly kind of clickbaity headlines. So what has changed? There's going to be other rules, but here are the main things that matter to you as the consumer. So one, let's clear this. Commissions have always been negotiable. Buyer's agent fees have always been negotiable. I have shown a many of houses to a client that has a lower commission than what might be seen as we're not allowed to say standard or common, but what is seen. So that has not changed anything. I have shown houses I showed one a few months ago that had a 0.01 cent commission. I had a conversation with my buyer around that. They were not in the position to be able to afford to pay my fee. So we just chose not to go for that house. Mind you, it is interesting. I have noticed that house is still on the market currently because most sellers understand by offering a buyer's agent commission, you are allowing more buyers to be interested in your home, because buyers that don't have cash to cover that fee will then be able to offer on your house. And then people will just have more money to offer on a property, wrapping that into the sales price. It works really well. We've been doing it for the last 30 to 40 years now. That wasn't the way before. Buyers agents didn't exist for a long time. And with that, there was a lot of dual agency where listing agents were working for both the buyer and seller. And, you can probably think who they're going to have a stronger, force towards. They're going to work more for the seller. And we just found a lot of, frankly, there was a lot of lawsuits going on after sales, fail sales, all of these things. It was found that a buyer's agent was someone that was needed within the process. So what we will see is kind of a change there, though, higher transparency when it comes to paying a buyer's agent. Again, we do predict that a lot of sellers are still going to be offering a compensation. That way they can help out to buyers, provide all of those benefits there. What will change is MLSs are no longer, so the MLS services that shows all of the listings can no longer put a buyer's agent compensation, list it on the MLS. Where, that's one where we're looking for more transparency. Kind of makes it tough because I like that my buyers can see now what I get paid and it's all kind of out there, but whatever. Weird little rule there that they had to come up with. Again, none of this is in writing yet, but that change will likely come in July, where buyers' commissions can still be provided by a seller, but they cannot be shown on the MLS. So we've kind of joked around in our office and tried to figure out, how it works. Maybe there'll be a sign in the listing that just says, here's what the buyer's agent fee is. So you as the buyer, the consumer knows. And then obviously on my end, when we go to show houses, I will do my due diligence to see what the fee is offered. And then we can have a conversation around that of what it works between us personally for you, what you are willing to put into that, or, what I can negotiate with the seller side. So all of that, there's more to come. Again, none of this is settled. There are other talks of more changes to come, but I am here for you. If you are someone who's thinking of selling your house, obviously this is a conversation we need to have as well. But for buyers especially, come July, especially if you're someone who's thinking of buying a home post-July, it might be a good time for us to kind of sit down and talk about what these changes mean, what they could mean in the future. And then I am always here to update you through it all as we learn more. I hope that makes sense. There are obviously some more parts to that settlement, but those are kind of the two biggest pieces we hear talked about in the media. and that are going to really affect consumers the most, I believe. But yeah, again, I'm here for questions on that. I'm here for questions on anything else you may want to know about when it comes to Portland, Oregon real estate. And if you want to chat about your future home buying or home selling needs, I'm here for you. And lastly, if you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button so I can be here for you in the future to give you more Portland, Oregon real estate updates. All right, thanks.